Hey guys, in today's video we'll show you our top quality multi-time frame analysis of main pairs for the coming week. So stay tuned. But before we continue, we also want to note that we have a Telegram channel as well, where we post signals and other top quality educational content. This week we made over 500 pips, so make sure to go down below in the description and subscribe. So here's EURUSD weekly time frame. And as you can see right here, we have a level of resistance which is meaningful on the weekly, as it serves both as a support right here and as a resistance right here, and right here. And now price again approaching this level. This means that we have a very key level. If we break support level and then price proceeded down, we will have some kind of powerful resistance even in case of breakout where the 50 EMA and the trend line intersect. But what is more important, guys, let's see the price action right on our weekly candle. As you can see, this candle was like a previous with a very long wick, and this wick are sticking out even longer than the previous. So what this means in terms of price action? As you can see, we have these 4 weekly candles with the very long wicks rejecting the resistance area. We could put our zone right here. So as you can see, we have a very powerful double top rejecting the weekly powerful resistance as well. What these candles tell us in terms of price action? With these long wicks, this means that buyers are tried to push higher through this resistance 2 weeks in a row, but failed. The longer the wick, the more powerful bears are. So 2 weeks we tried to push higher through this resistance, but failed. And again, 2 weeks in a row, we tried to push higher through this minor resistance and again failed. And we also have a double top. All this price action shows us a clear bearish bias on the weekly time frame on this pair. So let's go down to the daily. So here's daily time frame, and we would like to see a bearish price action on the daily as well for time frame confluence. For now, we drove the trend line, meaning we are in a current uptrend. And as you can see, for now we only have a lower high. This shows a momentum loss, but still need a confirmation of the bearish bias. And this will come once we break the trend line, break the weekly support, and then we would like to see some kind of price action right at this area where the weekly trend line and the 50 EMA are lining up. But for now, to confirm our bearish bias on the daily, we need to see a clear trend line break and the weekly support break right here. So let's move to the 4-hour time frame. So here on the 4-hour time frame, we have a lower high as well, and then a double top, which shows some kind of momentum loss. But for what is more importantly, we have a break right through the 50 EMA with a beautiful engulfing candle. And right now, we're again approaching the trend line. So again, to confirm a bearish bias on this pair, we would like to see a break right through the trend line, right through the weekly support, and see some kind of price action at this longer-term weekly trend line. If we will see some good rejections, we may go long. But in case of breakout through this long-term weekly trend line, the price could go down drastically. But what is more importantly, in case of breakout, we would like to see some kind of rejection of the weekly trend line before entering the trade. So let's move on. So here's pound USD. And as you can see, guys, we traded pound USD this week. So we sent this signal to our Telegram channel as a real-time trade alert. And for those who followed our trade, could earn in total over 300 pips. And as you can see right here, our final risk reward comes to almost 4. So if you want to get a trade like this, go down below, subscribe to our Telegram channel, and let's back to the analysis. So here is pound USD weekly time frame. And as you can see, this week sellers were very strong through this beautiful long wick right here. So what we actually have? We have a rejection of the weekly minor resistance, which comes right here with this very long wick. So for now we have a bearish bias on the pound USD on the weekly time frame. Let's go down to the daily. So here on the daily, we have a clear bearish price action. As you can see right here, we have a trendline break, the break of the 50 EMA, and then price proceeded down. What we also have? We also have the breakout through the weekly minor support right here. And then we also have a lower low right here. So all this shows us a clear bearish bias on this pair on the daily time frame, meaning that our weekly bias and the daily are lining up perfectly, which means that we only will be looking for a possible short opportunity next week. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So On the 4-hour time frame, we could see a clear downtrend to lower highs and lower lows as well. But what we wanted to see in terms of quality entry, as you can see right here, we have a break right through the weekly support level, and we would like to see some downwards movement to this area, and then we would like to see a great rejection of the weekly minor support with a beautiful price action to enter the quality trade short right here. And if this happens, we have a huge downside potential right to that level. So moving on, so here's USDCAD weekly time frame, and as you can see, we have a bullish candle this week rejecting the 50 EMA. It's a very long week, and then we go up, approaching the key weekly resistance level. But for now we have a bullish bias on this pair through these beautiful rejections of the 50 EMA. So let's go to the daily. Here on the daily we have a higher high and higher low as well, confirming our bias. But we have some kind of resistance right at this area through the 50 EMA and weekly resistance. So for now, to confirm our bullish bias on the daily, we would like to see a break right through the 50 EMA and this weekly resistance level. But for now, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So here on the 4-hour time frame, we could see not a good candlestick formation when it comes to bullish bias. But anyway, the next candle was bullish. Anyway, I have a bullish bias on this pair and will monitor it to see some kind of price action right at this key weekly level. So moving on. So here's gold, weekly time frame. And like we said in our previous video, we have a very strong bullish bias on this pair for this week. And as you can see right here, we have a clear breakout and a very massive engulfing candle with over 3000 pips. So what we have on the weekly? We have a breakout through this minor resistance right here, and then price approaching a key area. But we have a powerful resistance right at this key area. But anyway, we have a bullish bias on this pair for the next week. So let's go down to the daily. So here on the daily, we have an even more beautiful picture. As you can see, we have a breakout right here through this minor weekly resistance. And then the price came back to reject this area with a very long wick, which is very great and shows a bullish pressure and bullish power with heavy momentum. So what we want to see next week is a break right at this key area with an engulfing candle and a rejection as well. So let's go down to the 4-hour. So here's 4-hour time frame, which makes our bullish bias even more stronger. Because as you can see right here, we have a very long wick rejecting the broken resistance area and the 50 EMA as well, meaning a strong bullish momentum. So like we said previously, we are expecting for the next week a clear breakout through this key area. And we have a bullish bias on the weekly, on the daily, and on the 4-hour time frame, creating for us possible high quality trades next week. So let's move on. So here's US oil weekly time frame. And for now, the price creating for us a bearish bias for the coming week. Because as you can see right here, we have 3 weeks in a row we tried to push higher through this yellow area, but failed. As you can see, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. All these weeks buyers tried to push price higher, but sellers were in control. And this week we have a bearish candle with a long wick rejecting 0.618 Fibonacci level and a weekly resistance area. So for the coming week, we could expect a pullback to the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, or even to this key weekly support. So here's 4-hour time frame, and here we see a clear bearish bias as well, because as you can see right here, we have a lower high at the key area. We could also see very beautiful candlestick reversal pattern, and what is more importantly, we have a break right through the 50 EMA. So what we would like to see next, a break right through the trend line to confirm the bearish momentum and bearish bias on this pair for the coming weeks. And once this happens, we will go for possible short trade opportunities. So guys, thanks for watching, subscribe to our YouTube channel, thumbs up, subscribe to our Telegram channel, leave the comments, and see you on the next video.